What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Elizabeth, and this is The Joyful Sojourn, a community of people that love stationery and planning and doing things creatively on paper. And if that sounds like your kind of community, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Today is, we're going to unbox the November 2025 cloth and paper subscription box. However, I am going to include this video in my planner lookbook series because every November, Ashley at Cloth and Paper includes their 2026 spiral planner in the box. So there is a planner in here. It is a planner that you will be able to buy from the Cloth and Paper website. So we're going to do a twofer. We're going to unbox the November 2025 box, and then we're going to do a deep dive into the spiral planner for Cloth and Paper in 2026. You guys get what's going on here? So let's get into it. The box is officially sold out as of the filming and posting of this video, but I'm pretty sure the spiral planner will be in the shop. So if you like this planner and you want to consider it for 2026, that's why I'm showing it here today. So let's go ahead and open it up. The cheapest way to get the Cloth and Paper box, in my opinion, if you can swing it, is to bulk pay. Like you can pay for 6 months, 3 to 6 months in advance. Here's your box, by the way, just a plain simple box. I do the, I buy the box in 6-month increments because it cuts the cost per box down, and it ends up lasting me a whole year because there are frequently months that I will skip because I just know I'm not interested in what's inside. So that's what's cool. You can prepay for 6 boxes and then you can skip however many times you want, and then it kind of makes it last longer. November is always the box that you want to get if you're interested in getting a complete planner in a subscription box. So we're going to do this last. Let's get the other ancillary items out of the way, and then we'll review the spiral planner for Cloth and Paper. So other things in the box, such a good value with this. So everything is beautifully wrapped in this parchment paper and sealed shut. This is a slightly different experience than the last box I opened. This thing is packed, like packed. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. There's a lot of stuff in here this month. I hope that if you wanted this box, you were able to get it because this is a lot of stuff. Can you guys see this? And at the price point, I'm going to set aside the inserts that are going to go with our planner. At this price point with the pre-purchase of the 6 boxes, I already know that the value is going to be there. So let's take a look at these kind of smaller items. First, we have 2 pens. The pen subscription used to be its own thing, but they've merged it with the regular intentions box. So we have 2 pens here. One is a zebra, and it doesn't have a name on it. I've never seen a barrel quite like this before. Let's take a look. Here is the item number, CJJ5CNS.5. And then the other is the Bay-OK highlighter, but I'm guessing this is just going to be a juicy white inked pen. We will test both of these in actually, let's just test it now. In my handy dandy memo pad from Arch and Olive. Every release, I love getting these memo pads because I can do just this. So we've got a wax seal. Lift that up. Nice weight to this. It doesn't feel super heavy, but it also doesn't feel like plastic and cheap. So I appreciate that. It's a little slippery to hold on to. Like this grip isn't very grippy for me. But this is the zebra. It's not my favorite. I don't know if it's because it's a bit of a thinner barrel and it's got indents, like it could be grippy, but it's not very comfortable to hold on to. This might be a re-gift, which is funny because I keep most of my pens when they feel good quality. This feels good quality, but it's not really comfortable in my hand. But personal preference, we all like different things, right? This is a pigment ink, a white inked pen. It's not going to show up here, but we're going to test it momentarily on a black paper pad that I know is in this box. So those were the 2 pens. This is a miss for me. This is probably going to be a hit. I love white inked pens. So we'll test that out in a moment. We have a new monthly card. It is a stiff vellum for January. This is different than the other monthly cards we typically see in cloth and paper boxes. So I wonder if this is showing us what the new monthly cards are going to be. We have our journaling card for the month. It's Curator. And on the back is a tour of everything in the box. I'm not going to flip it over because there is a QR code here. But when you're a subscriber to the box, you get access to purchase additional items from the box if you want duplicates. Yeah, so you have exclusive access to additional products. So all of that information is on the back of this card, but you can just slide this into your planner or throw it down with tip and tape or something like that if you want to. Next, we have a Eclipse bookmark. So this is a magnet. They're calling this letters. Ooh, it's fabric-y. So here's our bookmark. It is fabric. Kind of feels burlappy. And my struggle with these is how thick they are. So when you attach them onto a page, they kind of, you basically only want to put them on like one page. So I guess it works as a bookmark in that way, but it's not meant to hold, you know, a lot of pieces together. But there is your bookmark. It's a cool vibe. I like the texture on there. Of course, we can see it says cloth and paper, kind of spread out. So we have a bookmark. This is interesting. Looks like a small piece of layered vellum. Draft your year with purpose like a curator. So this is like the theme, right? Blueprint edition annual design. This planner is your workspace. Every page is a place to sketch out what matters most. With each choice, you're blocking time, shaping plans, and building the year you want to live. Design it to reflect your vision, your pace, your priorities. So this is just, you know, an aesthetic thing to clip onto your planner. So we just do this, and we'll test it out on the spiral planner once we get that open. So just small journaling card with vellum overlay. We have some stickers. Let's see. Love that the back gives us information about how to use them. These are metallic. They look like progress bars, but they call them, can't get this open. They are, yeah, they're like progress bars with script on them. And what they say is planning related, but not enough to where I'd actually read details. But those are interesting. They're totally flat. I like that while they are metallic, they're not super shiny. You can see the shine that comes from the plastic that they're on, but these themselves aren't getting a lot of glare. So if you take pictures of your planner, it's not going to give you too much light bounce back. So you have 4 sheets of these progress bar stickers, and I want to look at the back again just to show you how you can use them. So you do get a variety of different sizes. You like tracking, throw it on your calendar. Like if you're going on a vacation or you've got some PTO or something, you can just mark it with some fun little bars. Let's see what else. Oh, I'm excited about this one. We've got square page flag set. So these are square page flags, and they're calling it palette number 1. And I love the packaging that they've slowly been moving towards. The parchment paper, like thick vellum wrapping, is really, really nice. So square page flag set. Oh my gosh. This didn't really show well in like when they were showing it on social media. I didn't realize these two, this one as well, no, those are just black. These two are transparent sticky notes, so you're going to want to use an oil-based pen with these. Oil-based pen, my favorite is the Uni Pin pen with the gray barrel. It says oil-based on it, so that's how you know it's going to work. You can also use a Sharpie ultra-fine pen. Those would also work on these. But take a look. This is the same as the bar stickers. So it's a transparent sticky note. And I think we should write on it just to see how well they stand up, or the text stands out from the text that's underneath it. So there's your graph grid. And then the last one is actually paper. And it's just black paper. Pull that guy off. Ooh, we can test out our white inked pen as well. So there are your 3 sticky notes. These ones, the black paper ones, feel, I don't know, I feel like they're not going to be as sticky, but let's test this out. So we'll just say hello. Oh, pops just fine. So the text underneath is like light enough to, yeah, not get in the way of the writing. Hello. And then let's test this white inked pen while we're here. So this is the Okay. Pretty juicy, a little bit of separation there, but that's quite nice. I wonder how that compares to my tried and true Uniball Signo. I always have to test and see if I've got like ink on it. Oh my gosh, is it better? This one might be just old. Oh, it's starting to get a little bit better. I don't know, guys. This one might actually be better. What? It also could be that this one is old. This Uniball pen is old. Interesting. I like this one. I like it a lot. Will it replace this one? Like, would I start buying these instead of these? Depends entirely on how much they cost. But there are the 3 little sticky notes in that pack. Let's see what we got here. And then we have some big ticket items coming. This is, oh, these are tags. I remember seeing that these were coming. So these are just very luxurious gift tags. And we have 2 different colors actually here. So here's the first one. So you can see it says to and from cloth and paper. And I'm just going to lift this up so you can see it. So they're just paper tags. And then this one, it has a different texture to it. I don't know if that's on purpose or they meant to give us 2 different textures. This one feels a little bit thinner, but you've got 8 gift tags for your gifting this holiday season. Okay, let's take a look at the graph notebook in this box before we get into all of the plannery things. This is the inverted graph notebook in the CP Petite size, which is a 4x6. 4x6 notebook. They went very generous with, holy moly, the amount of paper in this thing. So here it is, 4x6, pretty good amount of paper. Cloth and paper is always quite good with their notebooks, making sure that they don't feel like rinky-dink. Oh, that's rad. So the cover is a whole vibe. I think that's actually quite nice. Can you fold it over? Oh yeah, you probably, well, no, you don't want to fold it over. You want to keep it this way. But we've got some text on the inside cover, on the front and the back. And then tons of graph grid pages. This planner belongs to, they're calling it a planner. Interesting. I don't know if I'd call this a planner, but you could certainly do planning pages. We are going to see how this pen works on the notebook. Yeah, this is a nice pen. I'm not mad at it. I'm going to go check the price if I can find this, how much this pen might cost, because I like it. Works great on the black. So this is, wait, a little nervous. Dried pretty fast. Got a couple wet spots. But that's a nice little pocket notebook with graph grid, black paper. Kind of a fun little add-in to this box. I feel like they probably could have gotten away with not including a notebook, and people wouldn't have known the difference and would not have been upset. So the fact that they included a notebook with the planner is quite kind of them, in my opinion, because the value's already there with the planner and the inserts that they're giving us for it. So let me try to get this guy out of the bag. We're finally to the planner. Planner packaging, nice bag here. 2026 yearly planner, weekly horizontal, spiral bound. It is an A5 size, 5.8 by 8.3. So you've got like a little, we'll call this a dust bag, even though it's not fabric. And then we have our spiral planner, or twin loop. I call it a twin loop. Right off the bat, we can see that they are differentiating between months with some dark coloring on the edge. So if you didn't want to add tabs, you could still see some visual indication on the side of when you're transitioning into a new month. I'm going to set the accessories to the side until we flip through the planner, because they'll make way more sense once we get going. So we are now going to flip through the 2026 spiral planner. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see everything. Okay. All right. So we have a matte silver twin loop style here. Frosted cover with white ink for 2026. Open it up and we've got a really nice piece of cardstock. The color choice is interesting. I mean, I guess they went with like a really soft heather gray because it would look nice underneath the frost, but it's quite the juxtaposition going from a cool toned dashboard like this to cream colored paper. This is cream color. I don't know if they did this last year. It is certainly not white. It is probably I'd say ivory color paper. I don't know how they're describing it, but it is not white paper. On the front, we have yearly planner. Each month shifts its weights differently, bringing its own rhythm and lessons. Some require discipline, others demand grace. It is a weekly horizontal, but it is in how we respond with clarity, patience, and small intentional steps that we steadily refine our path forward with purpose and resilience. And it is a monthly start. Each day is a chance to set intentions that resonate deeply, to move with purpose, and to create a life that feels authentic and full. I like how they've kind of assigned an explanation for these different elements, from the yearly to the weekly to the Monday. I think that's very thoughtful. We have an opening page for who this planner belongs to. And then the first layout is your year at a glance. This is fabulous for dot pens. Dot pens and translucent little round stickers for marking up important dates, holidays, paid time off, whatever you want to track, your period, whatever the case may be. You can use icons and dots to mark this guy up. So I like that. And the monthlies are Monday start, so January through December. Then we have a list of holidays and observances. They've definitely shifted with many of their font choices. So this definitely has more of a, not typewriter, just like old school computer type text. If you know what I'm talking about, from like, I don't know, the late 80s, it's definitely a different font choice. And we have, holidays and observances. So what the holiday is, and then the day and date of when it falls. We have conversions. Liquid, temperature, distance, and weight. The only conversions I ever like in a planner is like millimeter, centimeter, inch, like ruler measurements. This type of stuff, I'd love to know. Leave a comment. Do you use these in your planners? If you do, I'd like to know how you use them, because whenever planner companies put these in their planners, they must be responding to what people want, right? People must want this, right? I don't, but there's got to be people out there that happen to use them. So I'd like to know if that would be you. Okay, so this might be our dashboard for January. So it just says really simply 2026 up at the top. And then we have James Oppenheim quotes for, I guess, encouragement for the month. Oh, wait, no, it's all repeated. Look, each of us bears the weight of the world in our own way, but it is in how we carry it that we find ourselves. Why is it repeated 4 times? I'm going to have to phone a friend on that one. I don't know why it's repeated 4 times, but maybe it's just because of aesthetics. Very possible. The back of that monthly dashboard page is lined, so you can make some notes. Then we have our monthly goal setting page. I like that they do overview pages before the monthly layout. So we just have simple January up at the top. We have 8 blocks here for goals, so you can write down what your goal might be in a different category or area of your life. We have a place for important dates for the month, priorities for the month, bills due. This is such a small space that I think this could have been used in a different way. And then we have a checklist, but that's personal opinion. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, having 5 spaces for bills due. I guess if you have annual bills that fall in January and you have fewer of those, like a property tax bill, for example, maybe that's something that could go here. So something that's once a year and happens to fall in January. Otherwise, this is, I don't know, just taking up space, in my opinion. But here you can see the start of that black ink that's going to lend a hand in showing us how we're transitioning to different months. Here is our monthly layout. I have always very much liked Cloth and Paper's monthly layouts. The only thing that I have a hard time with is just the holidays. So we do have holidays on the monthly, but they are a nice small size and they're not a really rich black. So they do kind of like fade in well. So if you're going to do holidays and observances on the monthly, I appreciate how they do them. Very minimalist in style, kind of tucked to the bottom of the box and in a lighter ink or not as bold of a font, so it can kind of blend in. So we have a Monday start monthly, and then we have lines for notes on the side, and we have our bracketing months in the lower right-hand corner, also in a lighter font. So we have December and February here for the month of January. We have a notes page and another notes page before we get into our horizontal layout. And I like that because you can do additional goal setting and planning notes. You could do brain dumping if you have like a monthly meeting. You could have this be meeting notes pages. I just think it's nice that there's like spacers in between planning content because I do a lot of list making. This is the horizontal layout. If you like this layout and you are a disc bound planner or a ring planner, you can get a horizontal from Cloth and Paper. So if you don't want it on the spiral, you can buy the horizontal layout on their website right now, a la carte, just as inserts. So I tried all of the inserts that they were premiering for 2026, and I shared that in a video, gosh, maybe 2 months ago. And I had such high hopes for loving the horizontal layout because I've pretty much always been a dashboard horizontal fan. I've never really been a big vertical person. And it was through trying the Cloth and Paper horizontal that I realized, oh, maybe I'm not a horizontal person anymore. So it was funny when they announced that the spiral for 2026 was going to be a horizontal layout. But I do think it is a beautiful layout. So the way they've done it is Monday start. So you've got Monday through Friday on one page, Saturday and Sunday on the other page. I like this because your weekend is split apart from your weeklies. This would be an excellent work planner. If you're a Monday through Friday person, this is really nice because you can really focus in on work stuff and then have a little bit of freedom over here. If you want this to be a work planner, you could easily just relabel these to be maybe different work areas that you have. And so it truly would then be a Monday through Friday with a nice big dashboard. So if I were still working in higher ed, I would use this for work, because it does make a lot of sense. I would use the open space on the left side of the day for appointments and events happening during the day. And then I would use the grid section for my to-do list. And then I would use the right page for my I guess, tasks that need to get done over the course of the week, but don't necessarily need to be assigned to specific days. That's how I typically do a dashboard planner as well. And so I would do this for my regular life. If I was using this, I would brain dump all the things I need to get done in this column or in these columns. And then as I populate the events and appointments on the left side, I would jump over here with my to-do list and start assigning those to different days. The other thing I'm a big fan of, if you're a mom like I am, and at the end of the day, you know you did a lot of stuff, but you can't, or you had a to-do list and you didn't get a lot of stuff on your to-do list done, but you know that you did a lot of stuff. I do back planning that way. So this is where I would write down in each day, what did I actually do? So that I can write down, look, you did do stuff. You might not have tackled some of the stuff on here, but you did do the laundry. You did go back to daycare to drop off Esther's jacket because you forgot it in the morning. Like the things that actually happened, the things that actually got done in the day, I put in the graph section. So that's how I would use the horizontal layout as a mom, just kind of managing my life, and how I'd use it as an employee. Yeah, as an employee, I would definitely relabel the Saturday and Sunday, or change it to like next week, or don't forget, something like that. And I do like that they don't have headers here for these other sections. In previous years' versions, the word priority or like to-do list would be printed on the page, and just leaving it open like this just allows us to make the sections whatever we want them to be. So I'm glad that they kept it just like that. The other thing I want to point out is holidays. So your holidays do make their ways to the weekly layout. So we have a upper right corner lighter thickness of ink there. So they are kind of faint on the day. And then over in the calendar view, lower right corner, you're going to have the entire monthly view on each week. But they have bolded the numbers for the week that you're currently in. So let me just show you that. See how that's thicker of a font? It's more of a bold font. So it helps highlight that that's the week that you're in. And then just to show this up close, you can see that this is a smaller font and slightly less bold for your holidays. So that is the weekly. And then we're moving to the next month. We'll do one more flip through. So notes, actually, let's go back. So you finish the month, you have a notes page, you have your monthly dashboard. So F. Scott Fitzgerald quote here repeated 4 times, notes page. And then you have your monthly overview, your monthly layout, 2 notes pages, and then your weekly. So we'll finish flipping through this guy. See if there's anything. Ooh, Maya Angelou for March. Let's jump to the very back of the planner. So we end on January 3rd. So the last few days of December into January 3rd. Notes, contact list. Interesting. So if you want to use a contact list, you've got a space for name, phone number, email, website, address, and birthday. That's a big section for birthday. I would probably maybe do pen swatching, and maybe that's what we will do with this guy. Contact list, blank, and then we have that same, now it looks kind of blue. I thought it was gray on the front, but it looks a little bit more blue here for the back page. So let's fold this guy back over so you can see what it looks like. And we're going to talk about inserts. So Cloth and Paper does sell spiral inserts on their website. You can get them now. They also included some in the box this year, which is super nice. So we're going to play with these. So this is the Letters Dashboard Duo. I'm guessing these items will also be a la carte on the website since they made them for the spiral. So at that point, we'll be able to see, maybe I'll update the description box. I'll let you know what I paid for the box and then what the individual value is once they list them. And if I forget, someone leave a comment, I don't know, in a couple of weeks, and I will go back and check and see if they're listed on the website. So let's just open this up and add our dashboard. So for the first one, we have some open squares. It's punched, right? And the second one is a piece of plastic. It's a plastic dashboard, and it's got a bunch of letters in it. So what we're gonna do is, zoom in a little bit here. I think this is fun, but I already know I wish they had done one thing different. It is punched here, so you can add it. Then you're going to take your cardstock, and let's see if it makes a difference the way that we go. But we add this on top, and those boxes are going to be windows for J, F, M, A, M, J, J, A, S, O, N, D. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I think that's pretty cool. I think that is very cool as a dashboard option. It is very bland in color, though. I will say it's super bland. What I think they should do, which would be super rad, is if they did something similar with this vellum where, or it's not vellum, this is plastic, but if they had a couple, I don't know, iterations of this with the letters, and then what if they had, I don't know if this is possible, but like a piece of paper like this where you could punch out the squares that you want to, and you could spell like your word of the year or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like if they mixed up the alphabet, and then let's say my word of the year was joy, I could, if there was a way to see the alignment of like where the J is, maybe it's printed on the back or something, I don't know. And then I punch it out, and then I have like J-O-Y. I don't know. Just an idea. I think this is a cool concept. I really do. It is just definitely like muted. Very muted. Let's check out the next guide. This is monthly dashboard overlays. I'm very surprised that they put this in the box because I think they could have made bank. Maybe they still will. Having these on the website for the people who got the box to like go in and buy them for their planners. So I appreciate that they didn't go for the cash grab by not giving these and then making the box people go and buy more. You know what I mean? So you're going to have a plastic overlay, same material as the alphabet sheet. And it's got your one for the month, January, and it says cloth and paper. And this, you can pop in here, and it's going to just be an overlay for your monthly dashboard. These would be the first thing to go for me as I'm planning and if I'm using stickers, because I think they add a little unnecessary bulk. The texture feels really nice as a dashboard on the page. Instead of touching the paper, touching this plastic, it's really nice. But they're not tabs, and so they don't add any sort of function. They just add form. So I'll just do one more. But we have the whole 12-month set here in the box, which is really nice. So the value is there. It's just whether or not you think any of these items are necessary. What's cool is if you love this planner because you saw it, in this video and you're like, oh, well, that's my planner for the new year for sure. You don't have to buy these things. You can just buy the planner if you think that, it's just extra fluff and you're not interested in it. But it is nice they included it in the box. Interesting, though, that from a design perspective, maybe they wanted this to overlap, but this would be a little thing that might bother me. Like, I wish this was just inched up a little bit higher. But I'm just being ultra thorough here. So those are, I'm not going to do all these now, but those are the overlays that came in the box. Very generous. And then the last item that I think, again, was quite generous is they gave us notes pages for the spiral. Very nice. I'm only going to add one. Actually, I'm curious. Oh, this is where it's nice. I was going to add them to the back, but because they put a buffer notes page, or they printed notes on the back of the monthly layout, and they printed notes on the back of the weekly, you can insert your notes pages between your monthly and your weekly every month. I don't know how many sheets they gave us, but I'm sure they gave us at least 12. So if you wanted to add additional notes in each section, you can do that. You can even add notes at the end of your month because of how they've spaced this. That's quite nice, you guys. That is quite nice. Let me do another just to show you. Be careful though as you're pulling this out of the packaging. These are not reinforced like Laurel Denise ones. They're just paper. So as you move them around, they are going to get a little wilty. So just be careful there. But that's really, really nice. I'm guessing they'll sell more of, I ripped that one, see? That is a bummer. So look out for the packaging, guys. Really nice. I'm guessing they'll sell these as add-ons on the website, a la carte. But look at that. So I just added another notes page. So now at the end of this month, I go notes, notes, notes. Then I have my, oh, you could add one here too. You can add it here. I also added, after the monthly, I added another notes page. So notes, 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 and then the weekly. So, wow. I think this is a really good box. A really good box. And they've set this up so that you can customize their planner pretty well this year. So, I am impressed. Some of these elements are not my cup of tea, but I know that they may be yours, and that's totally cool. And yeah, I think everyone could be happy with this, given the amount of notes pages, the ability to take out the overlays if you don't want the overlays. And the overlays also give you something to add tabs to. So if you didn't want to add a tab just to like the paper, you could add a tab directly to the plastic, which means if you're using good quality tabs, maybe like the plastic ones from Stylish Minimal Co. or the new plastic ones from, or the pet tape ones from Lauren Phelps Designs, you could keep the dividers every year and add them to future A5 spirals and have this be your divider tab. Just an idea. So that is the 2026 planner from Cloth and Paper. Again, it's no longer available by way of this intention box, but the 2026 spiral will be available on their website. And then I'm guessing if you want the additional notes pages, the monthly overlays, and like this dashboard here at the front, they will probably have these items a la carte on the website so you can build out your planner just like this one. And if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself in the description box. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'd love to know what you think of the intention box this month. The November box, I always think when it comes to value, is going to be a very safe bet and a good opportunity to try Cloth and Paper. If you already have your planner for the year, then maybe don't get the November box because you'll end up with an extra planner. But price-wise, because I know what they sell these for, I think they sell them for at least $50. That's more than what I spent on this box. And I got all of the other items as well. Oh, I wanted to test the paper. Let's test the paper on a notes page because this paper is exactly the same. So let me find where I added, I think this might be an additional one, but let's just test how their paper is. I can't tell if it's the same paper as the normal Cloth and paper, but just in a different color. That's going to be the hard thing. I'll see if I can find information about the paper type here. And let me grab my pen pouch where I was doing my pen swatching from, or my paper swatches, paper testing swatches. Oh boy. I don't know where it is. So we're just going to test some random things that I have on my desk. This is a Unipin in 0.2 or size 2. This is different than the oil-based because it's got a black barrel. So this is not an oil-based pen. It will not work on the transparent sticky notes. But it is one of my favorite kind of everyday pens. So we will try the Unipin 2. I just got back from, I'm going to try a brush pen. This is the Fudenosuke from Tombow. Just got back from CPC. So my desk is a bit of in disarray. Fuden. I'll just do Fuden. Let's see. We will test out a Zebra mild liner. We will test out a dot pen. This is the Zig Clean Color Dot in black. We will try Sharpie S-Gel. Let's see. Muji. This is a 0.38. I wish that I had more pens here. Try a Tombow brush pen, a Zebra blend, a little bit more on the juicy side. I think that's all I can test for today, but you should get a pretty good sense for how we're looking here. So here is, I didn't realize we were so zoomed in. Sorry, guys. Here's some pens. And there it is on paper. Holy moly. I think this paper feels thin, but we have 0 ghosting and 0 bleeding. I have a soft tabletop here, so you are going to see a little bit of indentation, but 0 ghosting, 0 bleeding with the pens, which is impressive, especially with the black dot pens. If I lift it up and the light comes from the bottom, I can kind of see them. But when you are just having your page down, you don't see it at all. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is excellent. Excellent paper. Feels good. And given the slip and thinness, I think it performs really, really well. I will also say this paper is definitely not toothy, which means if you are a fountain pen user, I think this would perform pretty well. I don't think it would like feather. And I want to just make sure, yeah, they all have a smoothness. So if you currently use a fountain pen in your cloth and paper planners and you have no issues, I would presume it's the same given the amount of slip to it. So that is the 2026 Spiral Planner from Cloth and Paper and the rest of the November 2025 intention box. If you have any questions, leave them down below and come hang out with me over on Instagram. My handle is The Joyful Sojourn. Let me pull this guy back out. Oh my goodness. If you want to hang out with me again, I sure hope that you do. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I am almost done with my planner lookbook series for 2026, and but I have some big ones still coming. So if you are looking out for Just Scribble, if you are looking out for the R's journal, research journal, I will have that. I will have, did I say Hemlock and Oak? I will have several Hemlock and Oak planners coming. And I did connect with Aura Estelle at Chicago Planner Conference. So it's very possible that I will also have Aura Estelle on my channel in the lookbook series. All right, friends, until next time, God bless you. God bless you and keep you. Do something creative today. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.